from there. I'm live on YouTube now too. Let me just try to set this up so it's more equivalent. I'm actually going to share the YouTube in Instagram, and I'm going to share the Instagram on YouTube. Let's see if this works. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so everybody, welcome to today's Moon Day Monday live stream at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I mirror the consciousness of the week from the perspective of Cellestiallography, and I pick up on any streams that are coming online, anything that's picking up on the channels that way as well. I'll say hi to everybody that's tuning in on YouTube and on Instagram, and whichever one you feel more inclined to jump into. I'm here on both streams so that I can be as accessible to as many people as possible. You know, a lot of the insights that I'm coming up with and that I'm having through the realm and the lens of Cellestiallography are so powerful for me personally, just in the way that they have really reconfigured my perception on life and about magic in general. You know, I remember when I was a kid and I just used to play so many beautiful make-believe games with a great friend of mine at the time, and we would just really wholly encompass the magic within our lives, and we would create these worlds that were just so fantastical and out of this world. Honestly, like, we would have magic powers, of course, and we would be calling in the fae and, you know, the wizards and the witches and all the things, you know, and like that kind of energy field is so powerful. And I remember it so poignantly. I mean, I'm only 21 now, and so it's the sense that, you know, keeping that spark alive inside of me and in my life, I know that it is really important for me because how powerful these games were at that time in my life, how they helped me shape reality. And now that's how I basically see life in every day. You know, I see things so magically, I see people so magically. And over the past few years, you know, honestly, since probably 8, 7 or so, 9, 10, no, probably like 9, 10, 11. I had slowly started to give my power up and give my power away to the patriarchy, to men in general. And I denied a very feminine, powerful, natural, magical side of myself that honestly, you know, is no longer the case. I am so wholly reintegrated. And there come the dragons, right? I'm so wholly reintegrated in this balanced perspective of my inner femme and my obviously present outer masculine. And that unification really comes back to that time in which I was a child and I was just playing so much magic. And that was my light, you know, that was my eternal youth. And remembering that spark of eternal youth, remembering that flame of eternal youth that it dances with inside of me is the work, you know, not just for me personally, but pretty much for many of us, you know, for a lot of us that have come online at this time. It's about being the light. And when, and well, really, how could one be the light when there is no source of light, when there is no internal eternal, you know, flame that is illuminated? It can be very fragmented and detached and fractalized when we detach ourselves, when we remove ourselves from our eternal youth. And so realigning myself with that energy field, realigning myself with that source of light within inside of me has been a lifetime of work. You know, again, I say I'm only 21, but in my lifetime, there's been global pandemics, there's been world crises, there's been economic collapse. You know, I've gotten to live between New York and Paris and DC and Los Angeles, and I've just seen a couple things. You know, I won't say I've seen everything, but I've seen a couple things, and I've seen the world from a myriad of perspectives. And I've, been able to travel and meet new individuals and explore not just this physical world, but also the galactic realms and the, intergalactic realms and space and time through meditations. And, everything that I've experienced thus far has been a shaking, a calling back and a call to action to re-illuminate my eternal youth, to re-illuminate my flame of childlike innocence, and what some might call their inner child, I call again my eternal youth. Hi, Osset. She's over here on Instagram. I'm so happy you're here right now, love. You came at a perfect time. I'm talking about the eternal youth and just that inner flame of childlike innocence within inside of myself. I know you honor that light so deeply within inside of you, and it's so beautiful to see you here at this time. Hi, welcome, 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 welcome. I'm just having a few musings about my journey to the present now moment of myself and this incarnation that I've come online with, in the sense that I am now reawakening to my destiny, quote unquote, my path in this life, and that is one of magic, yes, and of light. To see my light in all nows and in all spaces and in all realms. It has been a journey and a venture back to my eternal youth, back to my inner child. And so it's so great to see you and Callie here today, Isis. I'm so thankful that you have followed your heart and flowed into this space at this present now moment. I really appreciate seeing you here, and I love you so much, so deeply. I know that we've been able to channel through some incredible insights through Cellestiallography and just through our own personal journeys and awakenings and awareness. And just to see you here in this present now moment is really an affirmation to the journey in which I've come full circle through. If I could just be very candid, and, Isis, the goddess, is a goddess of the moon as well. It's a recognition that there is, this connection between me and her for a while now. One of the patron goddess. So I'll say this, just take a sip. Passion fruit juice. Oh my God. So I'm like making sure my incense is okay. I don't think it's lit. So there's this sense that for me personally, when I first, had my reawakenings, right? So when I was a younger child, I was playing all these magical fantasy games and fairytale worlds, recreating them in my mind and out loud with my friends at the time. And not really playing much online until Sims came out, and then all these Sims expansion packs came out, and all the supernatural Sims came out, and all the magical Sims came out, and I started playing on there as well. But it really was birthed within my just interpersonal world, within my relationships and the friends that I had at the time. It was just so magical, and it was so magic filled, and I really honored that time in my life, because it was kind of slowly after that time, around 11, 10 years old, that again I started to give my power away to certain physical incarnations of masculine energy, and what I would largely consider the patriarchy. And in that time, I was basically reliving past previous lives where I was in a more feminine embodiment, and I gave myself up, and I martyred myself up for the men in my life. And to mirror that in this lifetime is something I believe that a lot of us go through, is like mirroring previous incarnations, mirroring previous lives, mirroring the lives of our ancestors in this life, especially from the ages of like 0 to 18. And then we come and reclaim our power, and we come and take our power back. And so, from what now then, 11 to 15 or so, I was in this state of just kind of detachment. I mean, maybe even 11 to like 17. Yeah, I was in a state of detachment. Again, outsourcing my source of energy and my light and my magic and pouring it into and onto other people, and especially and specifically one person. And that one person wasn't feeding me. That the relationship was not feeding me. It was really some past life ish. And I am so thankful that I got to make my way through it, because on the other side of that was, all of this, right? But in that time, again, from like 11 to 15, is when I had to remember and kind of recall all of the magic that I had played with as a child, all the magic that I had opened myself up to as a child. And that's when I found, big books on like paganism and Wicca and, angelic witchcraft and stuff like that. And these journeys through these texts and, through Scott Cunningham and all the things were really illuminating for me, because that was when I realized, I was like, oh, like magic is real, like, yeah, I've been playing all these games with magic as a child, and I've been growing up in this magical world as a child. But as I now see it, and as I was being exposed to and awakened to, there are people and practitioners of magic, Wicca, paganism, neo-paganism, witchcraft, so on and so forth, that were coming online and that were, actually here, quote unquote, doing the work to make sure that that consciousness from our previous lives, previous incarnations, where, the world was largely pagan before a lot of the Abrahamic religions came and took over, and even alongside some of the Abrahamic religions, but before they really wiped them all clean and wiped the slate clean, a lot of the world was living in pagan life, and quote unquote pagan is just so, whatever, it just means really pastoral. It's like everyone was living in harmony with nature and in harmony with their fem embodiment. Yes, I'm just sending some healing, some love, some light to those previous incarnations at this time. Yes, right now the moon's actually in Pisces, right? So there's this energy of a lot of previous life, past life stuff coming up. I mean, I know even in New York, it's been a cover of clouds since this Pisces moon rolled in, and it's like, yeah, honey, we're going a bit under the water at this time. Let's dive deep so that we can burst out through the seams by the time that the solar eclipse comes through in 2 days from now, on the 19th, later that evening, and it's all so beautifully divine, because it is going to be a total solar eclipse, a quote unquote rarer event, that then is our second Aries moon for the season, which is a very, magical occurrence to say, just that portal and that 1111, double reflection kind of energy. And then we'll move into Taurus season, within the following months. We'll move into a Taurus new moon, basically. We'll move into the Taurus energy coming online literally within that whole 24-hour period. So it's so silly, because I'm seeing a lot of individuals kind of focus on the double Aries energy. And like, yes, that's important, right? But then it's also like, remember the magic. There is this, again, obvious like Aries embodiment, but Aries is traditionally, like in astrology at least, a more masculine sense, right? And it is that Martian energy, a Martian energy, and it's countered, complemented, right, aspected by that Taurus energy, which is obviously Phoenician, right? And so this contrast that's coming online right now, you'll be able to really recognize those individuals that are remaining within that Aries consciousness, that Aries band, that Aries frequency, which, again, it allows us to see that there's a double Aries moon, but it's like, didn't you just go through that Aries portal last month? Like, you have to go through that again? Can't you see that on the other side of that is this Taurus new moon? How can we focus a little bit on that energy as well? How can we bring that into being? And that has really shaken me up a bit, to see that this is what's coming online at that time, to know that this is where we are centering ourselves back in the magic, back in the magic, right? Because, again, on that journey through awakening, and when I did have these tools exposed to me, Wicca and paganism and all the things, a lot of the outline was, first create an altar, right? And I've now had this altar, since I awakened to paganism or Wicca and all the things. I don't consider myself Wiccan or I don't consider myself Wiccan or pagan. There's this term I kind of came up with the other day, Witchan, Witchan. I can type that in the chat just to have it saved. Witchan. And what I found out about this term is that it actually is a 33 word. So it is very comprehensive. It is total embodiment of magic. It was, for me, adding the witch energy and then the pagan energy and complementing the two and adding them together. And I came up with this term in the midst of a conference about witchcraft and queer witchcraft, actually, that was being hosted by my university. And I believed that the speaker was talking and said the word witchin, and I had to ask, publicly after, I was like, did you say witchin? And they were like, no, actually, I said witch in, like they were referring to a kind of like a witch, quote unquote, sit in that was demonstrated and had so that, change could happen for the queer community. I was practicing at the time. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I heard witchan, like Witchan, as I had spelled it. And as I looked it up, instantly to my numerology calculator, I found out that, again, it's a 33 word. And so this expansion into the highest master number that is available at this time was unveiled to me within the midst of this conference, or at least this conversation, this talk. And it was really illuminating for me because it allowed me to perceive the magic of the combination between witch and pagan, that basically is kind of coming back online right now within this whole embrace of neo-paganism and Wicca and so on and so forth. So again, I say all that to say that in that time from like 11 to 17 or so, 11 to really 15 was me mostly when it was like really coming online for me. I actually was asked, by the books and by just my own inner being to select patron goddesses, to select patron gods as well. And my patron gods at the time, I believe it was really just Dionysus. I think that was like the most clear, like resonantly one. There was Anubis too. I have a Anubis mask that you've probably seen before. You can, if you scroll down to the bottom of this Instagram page, you could definitely see me sporting the Anubis mask and some imagery around that as well. But I literally ordered that Anubis mask when I was in 6th grade, not even 12 years old, and I decided to go as Anubis for Halloween. And I called him forth, and I called him online, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna go do it for Anubis. I'm gonna go as Anubis for Halloween in 6th grade. So I created this whole elaborate costume, bought this, at the time, expensive mask, and I went for it. And I didn't even have context at the time. I was wearing glasses, so I was really blind, and I literally didn't have my glasses on when I was wearing this mask. So I was just like going here, like trick-or-treating, trying to navigate the roads and the streets, just blind as a damn bat, honey. It was so funny. So funny. But that was, exactly what it was, right? Walking through my own inner life, my own past lives, right? And previous incarnations where I was more of a divine being. And that's what it is too, right? So when, these books and these texts, excuse me, had asked me to select a patron god and a patron goddess. Anubis, Dionysus, and then Hecate and Isis were my ones, my selections. And I would have loved to have had statues and idols of them on my altar at that time when I was really in that embodiment. Again, very reflective of previous lifetimes at that time too. But I didn't, and my parents are very, not very, but practicing Christians. And so they were like, or at least my mom was like, well, what are you doing with this? And I was just like, well, it's research. And I was like 12 years old, 11 years old. It's research, like I'm just researching it. I'm looking into it. But really, it was a reclamation of my previous incarnations where I was more pagan, where I was a witchin, right? And I got to step into that embodiment and really encompass and embody that. It was so powerful at the time because, I still had my altar, like it had to be shoveled around. Sometimes I had to throw it in the closet, all the things, which is in the closet. But it was really powerful for me because it was an activation, it was an illumination of this previous incarnation that I was coming online with, and I'm so happy to honor it at that time. So, after that, like I've always had an altar, with Anubis at one, and with just my own mental incarnations of Hecate and Isis and Dionysus around me. And there was actually one this time here, I'll pick this up. This Dionysian ring. My freshman year university, when I was living back in Paris, I went as Dionysus for a Halloween costume to a few events, and it was so silly because I went, obviously for Halloween, and then by January, I had gone to visit some friends in Michigan at University of Michigan. So random almost because at the middle of the country of the United States, after living in Paris and still actually in between Paris and the U.S. or France and the U.S., I actually went to this thrift shop. Again, very blind. Like I didn't have contacts, or at least I couldn't wear my contacts because my eyes were really bothering me. I didn't know what was going on. I just like my eyes were so like I don't know. I think I had an eye infection actually, but again, there was this theme like I couldn't see, right? And so I'm like in this shop, this antique shop underground, right? Guided by some friends to the space, and I'm like kind of navigating the space, and I see this ring, and you can see. I'm trying to make it make sense. And nothing is really that clear. I wish it would. Is that how you do it? I don't know. Focus. You guys can see it. Obviously, she's gone through some trauma, but this ring found me basically, and of course, it's a grape ring with grapevines. And right after the heels of coming off of this Dionysian reawakening, it was just a total embrace. That this again was a previous incarnation that I had. Right, you're finding me in the middle of the country when I'm technically gonna call it like maybe not supposed to be there, but how and why was I even there? And I was there because I was meant to find, right? I meant to remember my previous incarnations, meant to remember and recall those forms in which I had once taken. So the fact that, this is all basically to say that Isis, that you've now come online and you're here now for me and with me. It feels like a total embrace. It feels like the goddess Isis that I had, been not even praying to, but just honoring and recognizing in my life, is here for me and has been here for me and now is here for me in all nows. And, more physically than others have come online, like more physically. Well, I mean, obviously, I embodied Anubis at a point. I embodied Dionysus at a point. Hecate's just always been there, kind of, floating and fluttering around. But you, Isis, have literally been a reflection of the Isis energy within inside of me. And it's just been so beautiful to meet you, to greet you, to see you, and to hold space with you. Because I know that means that the goddess is here for me, in all nows. Hi, love. Welcome to this space. I'm so happy you're here. This is, I believe, the first live stream that you've been able to tap into on here from our conversation back on last Thursday with Kay, where I did our first sovereign tea party. So I'm so happy you're here, Amelia. Welcome to the space. I'm so glad that you can tap in. We are just flowing through the energies at the time. I was speaking about some of my previous incarnations and some of my realizations and awakenings to the path that I'm on now. So, just welcome. I'm also on YouTube as well. You can see, I don't know if that's the correct link. Actually, let me send a better link. I'm also on YouTube as well. If you would like to tap in there, I'll send that here too. Whatever is easiest for you, feel free to join in on either. I'm doing it all whenever I can, and I'm happy to because it makes it just that much more comprehensive. You know, I just kind of blocked the YouTube camera. It makes it just that much more comprehensive for me to just have like the archive on YouTube and on Instagram and just in all platforms. Like I want to be able to be as multiversal as possible. I want to be able to shine in as many spaces as possible, and so it makes me really happy to be able to show up on YouTube and on Instagram when I can. So I'm doing these for our Moon Day Monday live streams at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday, and then I'll do a Wings and Witches Wednesday co-creation and Q&A, and that's at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as well every Wednesday, and that's going to be just on Instagram. And then I have a Friday Fae Day, weekly Fae Day channel transmission that is every Friday at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and on Clubhouse too, but Clubhouse has been kind of wonky recently, so we'll see about that going forward. But it's been really incredible just to, like, to be in all these spaces and all these platforms at this time. Moon Day for me has really been about just streaming through a lot of the energies that are coming up for me and just having the space to talk really about some of the things that I've experienced, because I've just seen so much. And Moon Day for me is all about my first eye. Toya shoy, atay naya sai, katay naya shokoya sai, naya shiita yatay atay shoya sai, naya ko ita naya kai. And it's been really incredible to open up my first eye to be able to see each and every one of you through this lens and reflect on all of the soul experiences and previous incarnations, past lives, and memories that I've had subconsciously and otherwise, and share that with each and every one of you, especially because I consider myself to be a lunar person. I consider myself to be a moon, right? And so it's really beautiful to be able to share a lot of the experiences that I go through and that I've had on a moon day like today. And then Wings and Witches Wednesday is always for me to talk and discuss and really kind of not really teach, but at least share some knowledge specifically on things about everything, well, all things supernatural, honestly, whether it's, winged creatures, angels, dragons, fairy, or whether it's witches and wizards and the occult and, um, conjurers, right? All the things. I just, have that space to really be able to discuss and to also be able to share and then answer any questions that come up from the audience as well. So if you do have any questions, feel free to DM them to me or send me an email at thecellestiallographer@gmail.com. And you could also put them in this chat too, though I'm not sure I'll be able to get them to them today. I always will be able to answer and follow up with them by Wednesday. So if you do have anything coming up, feel free to send them on there as well. And then Friday is always a space for us after all the things that we've experienced throughout the week, after all the energy that I'm going to share through the insights of celestiallography, and then through the discussions and the research that I've learned and discovered and explored on Wednesday. Friday is always just a chance and an opportunity to bask more in just the energy of it all, right? I guide a transmission or a meditation on Friday at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with my co-host Kelly Love, and it's a really incredible space to really just flow and to bask and to receive the energy of the universe and the multiverse and the cosmos and the magic of it all, truly basking in the magic. And hopefully it will awaken and enliven something within inside of you that is innately magical. That's always my goal on Fae Day. I call it Fae Day, Friday, Fairy Day, Venus Day. It's always a time to reconnect with the magic within inside of ourselves, embody the magic again through a meditation, which I feel like is a very, great way to just receive, not having to do too much, just sit there, whether you sit up straight for the unified chakra aspect or whether you sit down and lay down for the meditation. It's all up to you, just feeling like you can bask in the energy and the magic of it all. That's the most important part. And that's also, about today too. I will in a moment. Well, I guess, yeah, right about now. It's 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we've now been on here for just over 30 minutes. And I want to be able to share some of the insights about about celestiallography and the planetary period, or the quote-unquote week ahead of us. That's what I'll be doing every moon day as well, talking about some of those alignments that are coming up for the planetary period ahead. And it's a really exciting time for me too, because I get to stream a little bit of it, but I also, obviously have some notes that I've written down that are coming online, and it's really exciting to be able to share them. This is also kind of new for me because I am not at a time where I have been able to, bring all of these awarenesses and bring all of this awareness, bring all these insights online through any specific medium or any specific channel. So I just have to be the channel. I just have to be the one to share. I just have to be in a position to communicate the insights of celestiallography to each and every one of you, so that you may receive them as beautifully as you can. And that's been my work, right? Making more platforms, making more ways to share the insights that I've experienced and that I've researched as the Cellestiallographer. And so I'm excited to do so. This is the first time that I'll actually have it a little bit more streamlined. I did do a kind of impromptu version of this last week, last Moon Day, and that was, exciting. It was really a great opportunity for me to learn about, how this can manifest and transform. And so I do look forward to it. And yeah, of course, Amelia, thank you so much. I really appreciate you for being here, honestly. I will at the end share some more links to stay in contact with me and to stay updated. So just stay tuned for that as well. And I just really appreciate you for being here at this present now moment. It's really, really, really needed. And just to be able to ground out the energy, it makes me feel really wholly encompassed. I've been experiencing a lot of dissonance, so to speak, not within really myself, but just around me. And I believe that a lot of the, I'll just say, lesser melanated beings at this time are having some difficulty integrating with a lot of the energies that are coming online. And that's okay, as our lesser melanated cousins, right? We're here to embrace them and to love them and to show them what it looks like to be light, embodied in flesh, incarnate. And so it's really powerful to be able to be in this position, to know that I'm calling home, that I'm illuminating myself, and that those who need this work at this time are being able to receive it. I say that because both you, Amelia, and Aset, and Kelly, and Callie are all in this space at this time, and I really appreciate it because you are my soul sisters, and you are making sure that this energy is grounded out in the best, highest vibrational way, and I really appreciate that because, excuse me, that's what's really needed at this time. I don't really want to have to speak too much about all of the Venus hour at this time. I don't really want to have to speak too much about all of the harm and the hurt that is affecting melanated and Black people and brown people at this time, but it is happening and it is a constant threat. And I just want to be able to remain in the higher vibrational field of that and the higher frequency awareness of that. So I'll just say that for now, and we'll just say I see you and I appreciate you and I love you and I thank you for being here at this time. And I really honor each and every moment that I get to spend with you both and you all. And I just thank you because this is a really, really present now moment for me. I've had a lot of, again, dissonance over the past few days, few weeks, few months, with people, energies, fields kind of coming in, coming online, looking to, have this relationship with me or use me in this way because I, was there to be of service. However, I'm not there to be used or manipulated. I'm not here to be used or manipulated. I am here to be of service, and I'm here to be in the light, and I'm here to be empowered, and I'm here to empower others, right? So whoever is able to receive that at this time, I honor you so very much, and I thank you for being here and for taking the time to listen thus far. If you've been able to make it into this point in the video, into the live stream, you are a true blessing on earth, and you are truly, truly, truly magnificent, magical, and majestic. I love you so much. So this is actually a selenite love wand, also a love dagger that I have recently picked up over the past few weeks, few months. And I'm just picking it up right now at this time because we are on a moon day energy. So selenite obviously is connected to the moon, Selene, the goddess of the moon in Greco-Roman times. And I just want to be able to honor a little bit of the energy, ground in to the planetary period ahead, and begin by speaking about the energies that are coming online at this time, right? So I'll just begin talking about the planetary period ahead by saying that this moon day that we are currently in at this time, it begins with a beautiful boost of energy, right? Straight from the divine dominion. This divine dominion has been online for at least 24 hours or so. I think a little bit longer though. And this divine dominion is really charged up because right now it's in its incarnation of being what we consider the ancestral dominion. And so the cosmic mothers are actually coming online really heavily at this time so that we can contact them and receive their support, receive their assistance, receive their nourishment, receive their nurturance, and receive their governance as well. We can tap into our own inner cosmic mother and recognize where we've come from, where we've hailed from. We can recognize those forces energetically, cosmically, celestially, and otherwise that have co-created our consciousness at this time. There's a larger, essence about moon goddesses and moon gods, and etc. But what I'm seeing right now is that there is, again, a cosmic mother, a larger encompassing energy field that is available at this time for us to contact and to get in contact with, to us to embrace, for us to also embody, and for us to recognize that as we come more into closer contact with our cosmic mothers, right, we can have a greater relationship with the universe at large. We can have a greater relationship with the moon at large. We can tap into the moon in its most personified form, and we can dance with the sovereign mother moon, and we can dance with the energy of the light that it radiates into our inner realities, into our subconscious, so that we can expand and grow ourselves to our highest, most fullest potential selves, right? And that's what the cosmic mothers are all about. Really, how can we expand? How can we grow into our highest potential? Expansion is the key here. Expansion is the key here. And it's expanding into our ancestral field. It's expanding into our ancestors. Right? Ancestors is a 33 word. Ancestors are a source of magic, source of powers for us in this lifetime, in this timeline. And so at this time, it's who are those mothers that have transcended this life, that are in the cosmos, and that have watched over us from the heavens above, right? This is a great time to contact them and to get in touch with them so that they can, so that you can actually recognize the support that they have always showed for you, the watching overness that they've always done for you. As we're able to tap in with them and tap into them, their consciousness can come online even greater, and they can be, again, incarnate or embodied, both integrated and embodied through and with us. And so I'm really honored actually to be able to, even just wear white at this time, right, to connect with that cosmic mother energy of the great mother, sovereign mother moon, and know that I am a lunar being, right? I descended from the moon, and I get to be that embodiment of the moon on this planetary body that we are on, the celestial body of the planet Earth that we're on. And I'm really honored to be able to do that. It feels great, to say the least. Planet is 5 and Earth is 7. Planet Earth is 3. And 3 is the planetary reality of, our light and of our life. And so it's a really great time, again, to just nourish those senses, nourish those waters of our subconscious memory that always has been flowing through us, to remind us that we are ancestrally divine, that we are imbued with a power, a magic beyond this life that has been passed down into us again and transmitted even through the moon herself. So there's also, again, on this moon day, now my third eye is itching. I love it. So also on this moon day, there's all an energy around the divine court over chaos, right? So there's a space for us to be able to wash away, wipe away all of the dissonance, that energy that has just been stuck and stagnant over the past few weeks, over the past few months, over the past few lifetimes, honestly, and to call forth the divine, call forth the gods and our ancestors again, to be able to help us clear through a lot of these previous incarnations and past life soul ties that may be trying to hold on to us at this time, that may be trying to maintain their relationship with us at this time, when we know that at the end of the day, we stand sovereign over anything, anyone, any being, any entity that attempts to integrate within our field. Inayataya kokokomaya sho'oya taya shi'iya nayasaya kaila katotodo shokoi niyayataya taya joy dototo shokoi nayasika yakai layatai nayashai ayakai yatai niyakai shi'iri nayashoya kakakaya wayasai nayataya nayashoya Niyaya taya kaya kaya taya shaya kai likai taya taya nayaka the Kuturishukoi, the Lemurian Oceanic mothers right now are coming online at Taya Shokoi, and they're helping us wash taya taya koi taya that energy through the field Shukoi and sprouting new life, new growth, new seeds of life new seeds of life within our energetic bodies. So that's really exciting because we get to pull out the weeds and the chaos and the chaotic energy that might be flooding around at this time. And we get to wash and cleanse and clear it up with pure living life. Our embodiment in this physical vessel that we are blessed to have is a tool for us to integrate and embody the energies of all previous lifetimes, of all previous incarnations. And because such, we are not just one particular soul fragment. We're not just that other particular soul fragment. We are all soul fragments embodied and encompassed in one physical form. So anything, anyone, any other previous life or incarnation that no longer serves us, cut her off, cut her out, cut it off, cut him out, cut it away, and release and let yourself fly free. Know that you can stand sovereignly and allow yourself to shine radiantly beyond any timeline, beyond any lifetime that may be attempting to stick itself onto you. Hi, Amelia. I see you over on YouTube now. Thank you so much for joining in. I love to see you bouncing and jumping timelines. I'm actually going to play a little bit of the bowl because you just inspired me, Amelia. Just going to set up the camera a little bit better now to accommodate. I have all these books around me beyond Lemuria deck. Just give it a little bit more space. Oh. I talk about all these books, and this book just fell. This is my fairy book. Fée Enchantement. It's about fairies and Prince Charmings from French mythology, French story tales. Just put that, I guess, right up in front and center. So I'm just resettling my space here to accommodate. I'm gonna just put that over there so Instagram can see the moon a little bit better. Oh gosh, my dishes and all that. It's fine. Okay. So I'm going to play a little bit of the bowl just to clear some of that energy. Again, this is from the divine court over chaos, so that we can allow ourselves to tap more into ancestral or divine worship at this time and know that we have, again, the gods and our ancestors watching over us, and our entire court is there to support us. And our inner council, as well as being imbued with a life force energy and a light force energy, so that we can wash through, cleanse, clear any of those previous life soul fragments away, that we can stand in our highest embodiments and we can stand in our light at this time. Okay. Nayatai. Itayakai shokoi shakai. And once more. Nayapoi. Ilayasho ikarai. Nayasoi iyai. Inayai irai. Nitayai wakoi. Inayai isai. Uma ai itai. Ayasai ishai. I recommend drinking some water to cleanse and clear some of that energy through your fields. Shakaya taya taya uaya saya kakai naya shukoi iya taya koya shakaya taya. Maya taya. Ayatai. Allow yourself to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose. And call that energy down into your belly, into your solar plexus, before breathing out through your mouth. Stretching out. In through your nose. Down into your belly. And out through your mouth. Hi, Michelle, over on Instagram. It's so beautiful to see you here. We just played some of the bowl to activate that energy and to clear away some of the energy fields that may have been stuck and stagnant from previous life incarnations. I'm so happy that you've joined in at this time so that you can radiate that light, radiate that consciousness, radiate that awareness throughout your fields as well. So happy to have you here. So I'm actually in the midst of sharing some of the energy of the planetary period up ahead. I'm so glad that you've been able to join us on this beautiful Moon Day, Monday live stream. Welcome, 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 my dove. Welcome, welcome, my dear. I'm also on YouTube live streaming there as well. If you feel inclined, feel free to join in on whatever streaming platform resonates with you most at this time. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. You can probably see some of my notes there, and that's okay. I was just talking about some of my own inner energy fields earlier today. I love nowadays waking up between the hours of 3 to 6 a.m. They're very sacred to me. You know, I realized also that at least my Jupiter and my Mercury are at a place below the horizon in my own celestial alignments. And so they are still deeply within me, right just before the sun rises. And so I get to stand in their deepest awareness in the same timeline of the sun's pre-dawning. And when I do go to awaken at those times, and it's never by alarm or anything, it's just naturally at this time, I'm just awakened, and just some of the greatest insights get to come to me, and then I just go back to bed when the sun begins to rise, and then I flow into a state of just pure peace, and then I awaken for my beautiful moon day, for each and every one of you to share the insights of the planetary period ahead. So thank you so much for being here. That was a bit of the bowl that I just played to help us clear and cleanse some of those energies. And now I'll continue on with the planetary period ahead. I'm still covering our moon day energy field. So again, on this moon day, there's also the royal diamond dragons here of the Sun Kingdom, the daytime, that are here to assist us in really gritting out and I want to say nurturing, protecting, and taking care of our core at this time, right? Our core is also online, and I'll touch a bit on this a little bit after, or just after. But these royal diamond dragons of the Sun Kingdom are here to create this, bubble, basically. Ooh, Fatay Shokoi, I just felt their little kiss in their claw around the sun, so that we can create these stargates that are needed at this time to enter in and allow for more source energy to come online, right? That source energy, while we often think about the core as rising up from the diamond earth star and then flowing up through our system, throwing up through our feet, I say down almost, through past our ankles, flowing up through our calves, fluttering in, leveling at our knees, and then continuing up, penetrating beyond our thighs, and then allowing them to center at our hips, before flowing up past our sacral, pooling at our solar plexus, and then beating at our heart, radiating along our ribcage, moving up through our spinal cord, meeting at the median point of our spine, our brain stem, our limbic system, and our collarbones at that cross, floating down past our shoulders and through our elbows, wiggling in at our wrist, and then fluttering through our hands, through our fingertips, tips. Hi, Christopher. Welcome. And then in through our nose, out through our mouth, obviously activating our throat as it moves up through our neck, and through our two physical eyes, into our first eye, and out through our crown. That's the general path of the diamond core. Our Quasmic Core, instead, that the diamond dragons right now are online to assist us with, are coming in instead through the crown, from the heavenly cosmos, in through our first eye, down into our two physical eyes, don't forget your ears, and then blown in through your nose, Out through your mouth. Down through your throat. Along your collarbones, across your arms. Down your elbows. Through your wrist. In past your palms. And fluttering at your fingertips. Beating at our heart. Down through our spine, past our rib cage, into our solar plexus, our nexus of energy, pooling here before splashing into our sacral, Dayakai, Shakai, and then centering at our hips, moving those hips around a bit. Whew. And then continuing on through our thighs, leveling at our knees, down past our calves, anchoring at our ankles, out through our feet, soles of our feet, and the tips of our toes into the diamond earth star, and back once more. That is generally how the Quasmic Core flows from our ancestral roots down from the heavenly cosmos back into the earth star, because it opens up essentially this stream. Of course, now you recognize the ancestral roots are going down, and the crystal caverns, the cosmic diamond core, are going up. So there's this parallel energy streams, and it creates this 11 energy of Aquarius, in which the cosmic core is connected to. So essentially, the royal diamond dragons of the Sun Kingdom right now are here to assist in creating an energy field that is potent enough from the sun itself, so that we can open up these cosmic core ancestral roots and stargates very easily and very efficiently right now, right? These ancestral roots and these stargates of light are allowing pure radiant energy to flow through them, down through our crown into the core, so that we can allow new consciousness to be key-coded into this planetary period, extending all the way from April 17th to April 23rd. This planetary period, of course, covers Moon Day, Mars Day, Mercury Day, Jupiter Day, Venus Day, Saturn Day, and then Sunday. So that's a bit of the energy coming online for this Moon Day. And hi, Christopher, again, welcome. I thank you for bringing online the energy of that Pisces moon that we're experiencing before we dip onto the new moon in Aries and flutter into the new moon in Taurus. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone listening on YouTube and everyone on Instagram. I'm so thankful to have you here at this time. I really, very greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Oof. Again, drink some water at this time to help those energies anchor and ground in through you and your systems. For as you do and as they do, this energy will come online through you, and it will continue until Jupiter Day, right? So that's so beautiful, right? This portal period that we're in right now, from Moon Day to Jupiter Day, both complemented by energies of water, right? Moon Day, of course, connected to the energy of Cancer, and then Jupiter Day is connected to the energy of Pisces. So it's so silly that we actually have this moon in Pisces at this time for this energy of the week and those, energy fields of the ancestral dominion, and the cosmic mothers, and the divine dominion, and the court of chaos, and the royal diamond dragons of the Sun Kingdom, and the ancestral roots, and the cosmic core, and the source energy of light, to all continue to flutter in through the next few days from this Moon Day until Jupiter Day. And so again, it's a funny, little magical moment between the cosmos that we're having in this planetary period, because again, the moon right now is in Pisces, and the Moon Day that we're having is going to allow these energies that I've just spoken on and touched up on to come online through the next few days until Jupiter Day, when again Jupiter is in the energy field of Pisces as well, and so Jupiter Day will be an expansion into the same Piscean energy that we've been fluttering in through. So I fully believe that's a wonderful cosmic correspondence that is of no coincidence at all. It is all perfectly aligned, and I could, obviously speak more onto that as well. And I open myself up more for questions and answers on Wings and Witches Wednesday at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you do have any questions over any of the things that I'm saying, feel free to ask them then, or send me a DM in the meantime, and I'll be sure to answer them by then. And what's also, I just want to pause before I continue on to the energy of Jupiter Day. What's really beautiful is that celestiallography is very archetypal, right? So all the things that I'm touching up on have their basis in archetypes, and in mythology, in magic, in our subconscious memory. So while you may or may not understand these things that I'm saying on a conscious level, your subconscious is truly receiving everything that I am picking up on. And so you can allow that to stream through you, to trust in that inner knowing at this time, and just receive, because all of this is intended with pure magic, pure love. I'm never going to be, shaming or doubting or fear mongering. That's not what we're doing here. We're only pouring love, light, luck, life, magic into the equation at this time. That's all I have space for at this time, honestly. So that's what I'll be doing. And so you can just rest assured that that is the energy fields that we're diving into. And just, again, if something doesn't make sense to your conscious mind at this time, then that's okay. Take what resonates and leave behind what does not. And if you have any need for clarification or any questions that come up, feel free to DM me at the Cellestiallographer, or send me an email at thecellestiallographer@gmail.com, or just write them in the chat by the time that Wednesday comes, and I'll be sure to get to them by then. So thank you so much. So Jupiter Day this week is on April 20th, 2023. So that's going to be really, 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 really exciting, because that is the first day of Taurus season. And that's when a lot of the energy from this moon day that's continuing on throughout the, a large majority of this planetary period ahead of us, and that we're experiencing at this time, it actually shifts on Jupiter Day, on the first day of Taurus season, which I think is really beautiful, because, it is actually the one thing that does kind of come online actually on Jupiter Day and Taurus season, the first day, is the star center. And this star center in Cellestiallography is the ancestral actually, celestial native center of Taurus. And that star center is where Taurus energy flows through. It's where Taurus energy is seated at within our beingness, within our celestial body, within the celestial graph. So it's really interesting to see this come online at this time, because I'm seeing basically the cosmos are opening again up this portal for us on the first day of Jupiter Day to expand, right, once more into the magic of Taurus, right? The magic of the stars, the magic of the fairy, the magic of our powers that are innately online within inside of us. So there's going to be an uptick in the magic coming through, and there's going to be an uptick in Venusian consciousness, Venusian awareness, Venusian energy flowing online by Jupiter Day, which is super exciting because it adds to the already 4 centers that are online at that time, so that this new energy can come through for us to stream in a awareness again of all things beauty, all things magic filled, and we can expand our consciousness, our awareness into beyond just the physical realm, the terrestrial realm that we're perceiving with our 2 physical eyes, but we can expand it into the intergalactic realm and all those things that we know are occurring in other galaxies, other timelines, other space times beyond and before and between each and every one of us, and we can allow the magic of this Taurus season that's coming online at that time by Thursday, by Jupiter Day, to be activated within inside of each and every one of us, which is going to be really exciting again, because the stars are asking for us to shine, and that means in essence that Venus is asking us to come online. And so there's going to be, again, this real huge uptick of Venusian energy, which is already adding to all of the 4 centers already online throughout the rest of this planetary period. And what's also interesting to note is that by this day, by Jupiter Day, by Thursday, there's going to be an overcoming of the shadow, so to speak, right? So throughout this week, this planetary period, up until Jupiter Day, there are 4 celestial centers that are going to be online, 4 dominions that are going to be really active. And so it means essentially that there is this energy online of, 4 out of the 9, right? So there's generally in Cellestiallography and all the things, there's 9 celestial centers. And so these 9 celestial centers, again, if there's only 4 that are online, that means that 5 of them are quote unquote clear. There's only 4 of them that are of the Electra, then that means 5 of them are of the clairs. So that, in all essence, means there's a larger energy coming in etherically on the closed eyes spectrum than on the physical realm spectrum. And so that's really interesting, because again, by Jupiter Day, by Thursday, when we think about abundance, when we think about expansion, when we think about I even want to say like financial wealth and prosperity, luck again, and also just, again, our soul experiences and our spiritual light and our eternal youth expanding into all realms as light continues on forever. Light never stops going. Whatever light shoots out into the galaxies, into the space, into time, it will just continue to flow and to go forever, unless reflected or refracted or absorbed by another celestial body. So that just means that, again, by Thursday, by Jupiter Day, these 4 centers that have been mostly carrying the weight of the planetary period ahead of us, they will be supported now to come completely online by this 5th center, the star center, that is needed at this time in the intergalactic realm of its dominion, that is needed at this time to balance out a lot of that shadowy experience that that we'll be going through the next few days, with some of the very physical energy that the cosmos is incarnating on and incarnating with. And that's really exciting, again, because with all of this energy coming through clearly, it's great to set the vision, and it's great to close your eyes and to meditate and to perceive the worlds and the realms within your inner realms, of course. And that's what these other celestial centers and these divine dominions and all the rest allow us to do. To support us in that expansion of our inner realms and our inner reality. However, again, by the time that this 5th celestial center comes online, it's going to be complete expansion into the physical space, into the physical realm, and you'll begin to see a lot of the things that you've internally envisioned come and be made physically manifest. And isn't that just so perfect for Taurus season? Taurus is all about manifest. Taurus is all about manifestation. Taurus is all about the galaxies. Taurus is all about what you can perceive when you open your eyes to see the world just beyond everything that you thought you once believed to be true. So this is going to be really, really exciting for us, because a lot of the energy that you put forward through and all the contacts that you've made with the cosmic mothers and all the connections that you made with your divine deities and ancestors and gods and so forth, all the worship and veneration that you've put forth for them, and all of the diamond dragons and all of the cosmic energy coming through all the stargates, all of it's going to become made manifest by Jupiter Day, by Thursday, by the time that Taurus season begins on 4/20, on April 20th. So that's really, really exciting. I look forward to that for each and every one of us, because then, even though, we have Fae Day, we have Friday, we have Venus Day, right in between Jupiter Day and Saturn Day. If we think of it, Jupiter Day is, again, Jupiter energy, right? So it's this energy of the actual planet Jupiter, and what's actually in between Jupiter if we think about the planetary period, it's Jupiter Day, Venus Day, then Saturn Day. But if we think about the actual cosmos themselves, it goes from the Sun to Mercury to Venus, the Earth, Mars, Jupiter, then Saturn. So Saturn and Jupiter are right next to each other, actually neighbors in the cosmos. So it's interesting that because I note that because by Jupiter day, of course, all this energy of the Taurus will be coming online, and then that fifth celestial center, the star center, will be here as well. Though by Saturn day, because it remains online throughout Fay day, by Saturday, by Saturn day, which is of course Saturday, Saturn day sunrise, the more primordial divine dominion and diamond dragons, they'll go offline for this time. They'll become clair again. So we'll get to kind of substitute their energy, as we had just been talking about being made manifest throughout the portal of Jupiter day and throughout Fay day. Those energies of the divine dominion and so again, the source center and the diamond dragons, so the dragons center, will also go offline at that time, and they'll become clair. They will, quote unquote, release themselves out to space and time. They'll transcend this physical reality once more. You will not really have them in the presence that they are at this time. And they'll become more guides for us at this time. They'll become more etheric at this time for us to, of course, integrate with and to encompass and to connect with on a more etheric level if we go into our inner realms and so on and so forth. However, they will not as much be here physically, which is kind of nice because it allows for the intergalactic realm of the star center that's coming online by Thursday, and the court over chaos and the Quasmic Core to charge us up, which really powerful, of course, because the intergalactic realm and all its Venetian glory is going to be so powerfully pulsating within us and throughout us, and between all, it's not just within us, it's throughout all the galaxies. It's going to be pulsating throughout us and within us and throughout all the galaxies, in addition to the court over chaos, the divine court over chaos, and the Cosmic Core, so that we can charge up this energy that is innately within our beingness, right? While a lot of the earlier planetary periods, energies of this moon day and continuing on to Jupiter's day are going to be here to really ground us, right? Ground us into the potentiality of what's possible, to ground us into the knowingness that we are supported by all that we seek and all that we know and all that we know we are connected to. Again, by Saturn day sunrise even, these three centers of the sanctuary and of the core and of the star center, they will be coming online, just them three, which creates this unity, this trinity of divinity, so to speak, that is really powerful because it allows a harmonization to occur, natural harmonization between basic, quote unquote, contrast and counterparts to be here, to be present at this time, which I think is really exciting because for me at least, when I believe or when I perceive those energies going offline of the divine dominion and the diamond dragons, they allow us to free up some of the energy that's kind of held within our spine that has been needed obviously to transport some of the energy up and down through the realms. And then again, a lot in the source center connected to our sacral that is here to allow the again, all of that birthing of our cosmic mothers, that birthing of the lunar gods, the birthing of our awareness from which we are sourced. We don't have to do any of that quote unquote work anymore. We've actually have a Saturn day off, technically, so to speak, where our load can become a lot more lightened. And I really appreciate that because it will allow for again, a harmonization effect to take place. And all this energy that was coming online is going to be really needed at this time so that the natural, quote unquote, opposition between the divine dominion and the intergalactic realm can be cleansed, cleared, corrected, and harmonized. There won't be as much of the tension that you might feel coming online by Jupiter day throughout Fay day and Venus day. You'll feel a lot of that tension kind of clear up by Saturn day, which is really nice. It'll be a great balance, so to speak. And as we remove ourselves from the earlier energies of the week that are, again, a lot more grounding and a lot more primordial in nature, we'll be allowing ourselves to flutter and to fly free into the higher realms of the intergalactic realm. And that's also going to be exciting too. And I'll speak about this a little bit more. But there's going to be some energy coming in on the supernatural side, on the fairy side, not specifically the fairy themselves, but energy of fatum, energy of fairy, energy of supernatural beings to assist us as well. So I really appreciate that. This, again, on Saturn Day, the natural harmonization effect between the divine dominion and the intergalactic realm coming online is going to allow for kind of very harmonious and high vibrational end to the week, as I had written, with the intergalactic realm being the higher octave of the court over chaos, and the Quasmic Core, our ancestral roots, the stargates, being the mythological progenitrix of the intergalactic realm. This planetary period will end on a high note throughout Sunday. And that's going to be super exciting because it'll feel, there go those dragons. It'll feel like a celestial family reunion, honestly, a star family reunion, if you want to see it as that, a galactic family reunion. And so it'll be a great time to connect with your most magic-filled selves. And so you'll actually be able to move beyond some of the more terrestrially conceived notions of what we think of when we consider family, and we'll be able to move into a greater awareness of those, family members and celestial galactic star family that we know support us, and that we know we tapped into, again, with this cosmic mother energy coming in right now, that we know we've tapped into, so that we can be, again, supported to have a relationship that exists beyond our normal conception of what a family looks like. We won't just have to go through the normal birthing channels and the birthing canals to be born again, to be renewed, to be reincarnated, to be reborn, all, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We can have a more celestial birthing process come through. And this kind of reminds me, before I continue on, this kind of reminds me of, if we think about like star seeds or other intergalactic star races from other planets, Arcturians, Pleiadians, so on and so forth, we've often perceived and we've often seen that their reproduction process, similar to Venus, is very unique in the sense that they don't require traditional, reproductive means to reproduce, to have offspring. Essentially, they don't need to have the physical experience of sexual reproduction that most of us on this earthly plane do. They can instead have a more etheric connection. They can be born, I'm blanking on the term, but it's just be born without, a father, be born without a mother. They can be born through thought and through consciousness and awareness alone. You can birth things a lot more easier, a lot more lighter by the end of this planetary period ahead of us. So that's really exciting because, again, all the things that we might have been going through the birthing pains of having to bring online earlier in this planetary period, we'll be able to come through and actually release a lot of that trauma, tension, and sacral source womb space energy that is coming online throughout our bloodstream and everything to actually lower the blood pressure and to just allow for all of it to flow. Allow for that which you would like to come online, that which you would like to make manifest. All of it will be able to be done so very efficiently, very easily, and very quickly too, without much tension, trauma, pain, harm, hurt, or just uncomfortable feelings, so to speak. So it'll be a great time, again, to connect with our most magic-filled selves and to also call forth the winged messengers to assist us. That's also really exciting because these winged messengers, it is right now the time, the age of winged messengers 2023. And so by again, Jupiter day by Thursday, they'll be coming online, right? Right now, they're a bit more in the ethers doing some work energetically and in the clear subconscious, atmosphere. But by Thursday and then throughout the rest of the planetary period, they will be here to assist in carrying out those messages, carrying out that awareness between and betwixt those interdimensional, interversal selves and realms that may be pertinent to our own awareness at this time, that may allow for us to have a greater connection, correspondence to all that we seek. We call the winged messengers in Cellestiallography, we also consider them to be personal angels. And so these personal angels will be very, very willing to assist us, because they'll be here physically and incarnate, to send and deliver the messages between and betwixt us and source consciousness, us and the gods, us and other supernatural beings, us and other supernatural creatures, us and other fairy and friends and folk, so that all the things that we look to bring online and make manifest will be able to come through just that much quicker and that much more efficiently again. So that's going to be really exciting. The soul contracts will continue to be closed out, and the cosmic stargates will make for very easy and efficient timeline jumping throughout the rest of this entire planetary period. So that's how I'll end it. I'll say that again. The soul contracts will continue to be closed out in this planetary period, and those stargates the cosmic energy, that source energy, and the stargates will allow for a very easy and efficient timeline jumping throughout this entire planetary period. So any reality that you're looking to shift into, any reality that you're looking to newly navigate that you might have just been timeline jump into, will be able to be done so that much more quickly, that much more efficiently, and with such grace and ease that you'll honestly be wondering, like, am I just surfing through space and time right now? So that's going to be really exciting, because on the edge and on the end of this eclipse season, it'll be nice to know that you have some cosmic celestial support to jump through these timelines and close out these lifetimes that might have been holding on to you still and today in the present. So that is that on the energy of the week ahead, the planetary period ahead. And I hope that everyone that has been able to tune in was able to receive something of significance for them. I felt very, very called to be able to do this work today. And I'm very thankful that I'm able to be in a position to translate some of these awarenesses, some of these insights through me to each and every one of you. It's very exciting stuff. I'm going to go ahead and send my donation and my email in the bio of this chat below, so that everyone has access to that. If you would like to send a donation, I'm very open, willing, and receptive to such, and I would appreciate it if that is what you're called to do at this time. And also, if you would like to send an email and reach out with any questions that you may have, feel free to do so as well. I would love to receive you in that way also. I'm going to send this here. This is that. You can send an email. And then I'm putting it on YouTube too. You could answer. Send me a DM at the Cellestiallographer. I'm going to copy that too. I know that's just to have it there. And then doing that as well, so that YouTube and Instagram has everything. And then my donations are at this link below. Beautiful. Okay. Well, I've gone ahead and sent all of that information out. So if any of you all feel called to donate, feel free to do so by the links below or send any questions that you may have. I feel very, very, very high vibrational at this time. Very glad that I got to perceive some of the energy of the week myself through this channel, through this stream. And I thank you all, each and every one of you, for tuning in and for being able to receive whatever you may be able to at this time. I appreciate you so greatly, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your moon day and a wonderful planetary period ahead. I look forward to speaking with you more on our Wings and Witches Wednesday co-creation Q&A at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and as well on our Fae Day, 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as well, for a beautiful guided transmission, channel transmission, guided meditation with me and my co-host Kelly Love. And then again on Moon Day next Monday at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another overview of the planetary period ahead of us. Feel free to tap in. I look forward to speaking with each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Amelia, so much for tapping in. I have a great, beautiful, beautiful rest of your moon day. Sending you all so much love. Bye.